look at me as young, but time does not. And we've got to prepare the next generation for our future, because our future is indeed bright. Proverbs 3rd chapter, 5th verse says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Our subject this morning or this evening is rather simple. Repeat these words after me. It's not that you lean, it's where you lean. Repeat that again. It's not that you lean, it's where you lean. You may be seated. Our text tonight, it is said, was authored by a king and articulated by a man, a leader named Solomon. It is stated that Solomon penned these words to an immature audience to make sure that they could hold on in the difficult moments called life. Suggested in chapter 1, verses 1 through 7, that he gives an introduction to the book. Proverbs, the first chapter, through the 8th through the 9th chapter, he focuses on wise sayings of instruction. And then, of course, by the time we get to chapter 3, he teaches us a very, very necessary principle. As he articulates to the believer that we need to trust, or you're going to be spiritually crushed. So it is, beloved, on this evening that he, in his articulation, gives us this command. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Most of us look at the word trust as being insignificant. But my brothers and sisters, it is the foundation of every good relationship. If you're going to have any good partnership that is worthwhile, you've got to have trust. When husbands and wives lose trust, when business partners lose trust, when church leaders lose trust, there is a fallout that is normally unrepairable. And so trust is essential. Everybody say trust. Trust is the difference between being stable and unstable. What I've understood tonight, beloved, is that there are far too many of us that are operating in ministry but are unstable in our personal lives. It is extremely difficult for you to talk about Jesus, preach about Jesus, teach about Jesus, and be unstable yourself. It is difficult for you to shout and dance and rejoice and you personally be unstable in your finance, unstable in your Christian walk, unstable in your theological perspective. And the issue with the church is we are unstable and we won't call it out. We will let unstable serve. We will let unstable preach. We will let unstable teach. We will let unstable lead. And because of who you connected to, we won't touch you. We won't bother you. But I'm here to tell you tonight, unstable is reckless. And if we are not if we're not careful, unstable is going to destroy God's church. The Bible declares to us on tonight in James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Will you look at your neighbor tonight for the first time and tell them, get yourself together? They don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that. They want you to tell them they look good, they smell good, they dress good, they drive good. But every now and then, we are tasked with telling one another the truth. And every now and then, somebody got to grab you by your collar and tell you, my brother, my sister, if you're going to the next level, you need to get yourself together. Every now and then, parents have to pull their children in and tell them, you better get yourself together. Every now and then, pastors have to pull your church in and pull your auxiliaries in and tell them, ain't but one pastor in here. You better get yourself. I don't care whether you knew me since I was a child. I don't care whether you changed my diapers. I don't care whether you burnt me. I don't care whether you mixed my formula. You better get yourself together, because a charge to keep I have. I feel the Holy Ghost here tonight, and a God to glorify. Superintendent's got to pull your pastors together and pull your district leaders together and tell them, stop the whining now. We got to pull together. We got to grow these churches. We got to do real ministry. We got to be about our Father's business. We got to get ourselves what? Because if you're not together, then you're divided. And if you're divided, sacred text says you're unstable. And what can you build on instability? Peter, upon this rock, I'll build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against. How is it that the gates of hell are now prevailing against our conventions, prevailing against our programs, prevailing against our local ministries? Every time we turn around, it looks like the enemy has the advantage, and the church has thrown in the towel and given the devil the victory. So tonight we must understand, when there was instability in the camp, Cain was unstable. He killed Abel. And when he killed Abel, he was cursed. It says when you till the ground, it will no longer yield. But when you go about your work, it will no longer produce. The question is not whether you're capable. The question is whether you have the grace. Some of us have lost our productivity because we've lost the grace because of choices that we have made that are the evidence of our spiritual instability. Lord, help me here tonight. Reuben was unstable. The Negro was unstable. He slept with his father's concubine, lost the privilege and blessing of the firstborn son. Bad choices, instability brings you into a season of bad choices. It affects your choices. I'm getting ready to mess you up tonight. It's not your haters holding you back. It's not folks jealous of you holding you back. It's not folk that are envious holding you back. It's instability holding. Lord, help me here tonight. And you got to watch this. You got to stop choosing your way out of the favor of God. When you don't trust God with all your heart, that means even when you get nervous, even when you're anxious, even when you're in your feelings, even when you're concerned, y'all looking at me like you ain't never been there. I go through it every week. The devil is a liar. You got to learn that I'm going to trust him anyway. I don't care how difficult it is. I'm going to trust him anyway. I don't care how uncertain it is. I'm going to trust him anyway. I don't care how crazy the members are acting in the church. I'm going to trust him anyway. I don't care how short my money is. I'm going to trust him anyway. I don't care how alone and how abandoned and how misrepresented and how mischaracterized I may feel. I'm going to trust him anyway. It's a conscious choice that I have made that I shall never let go of his hand. He has done